Good morning, YouTube. Per suggestion by one of the viewers, they wanted to see exactly how many gallons of gas we use to cook something, and suggested filling up the gas tank. I'm planning on doing that right now. So as you can see, I'm getting some gas right here, and I'm going to max out my tank right here and start to fill it up. So we're putting gas into the car right now, into the van, and we're going to let it fill all the way up completely until the unit shuts off here. Okay. So my tank is like topped off to the max. Then I'm planning on parking over there in that little spot over there, and I'm going to cook up some rice and maybe some eggs, and then come back to get gas to see how much we actually use up. It is 8:03. I've been idling the car since 8 o'clock, backing it up and trying to get everything ready. But as you can see, we now have our rice cooker in the back here hooked up. I have it set on cook. So we started cooking at about 8:03. Actually, the car's been idling since about 8 o'clock because I was setting everything up. So we're going to cook the rice, and it is on cook right now. So we're going to time and see how long it actually takes to cook the rice, and then we're going to make some scrambled eggs to eat with the rice, and time everything just to give a more accurate setting as to how long it actually takes and how much gas is actually used up. Now, the thing about it is this. Normally, when you're doing this kind of stuff, if you can cook while you're driving somewhere, you obviously are getting like free energy pretty much. But this is to show you, if I'm actually parked and idling and cooking, how much gasoline I use up. And it also give a more accurate time reading as to how long it actually takes for everything to cook. So right now we're cooking the rice. And while the rice is cooking, I'm going to take advantage of this time to actually clean out the other pot. I kind of left it a little bit dirty last night because it was raining, and I didn't want to get out into the rain to clean up the other rice cooker's pot while the rain was still going on. So I'll clean that out while this is waiting to cook, and then I'll come back and do a follow-up just to show you how long it takes. And then after we finish, we'll go back to the gas pump and try to get some gas and see if it'll even take any gas. I suspect it might not take any, but it'll give us a reading as to how much gas we're actually using. Okay, while the rice is still cooking here, I'm going to go ahead and start to prepare my scrambled eggs using 2 eggs right there, and some chopped onions, and of course the magical badia. So we'll go ahead and crack open the eggs and mix all that up and have it ready to go to put into this other rice cooker pot here when this one pops, showing that the rice is pretty much cooked. By the way, I thought I'd point out a tip for those of you who were struggling just like me to crack an egg back here. I normally make a mess trying to crack the egg open, but today I decided to try something different. What I did was I just held the egg in one hand, and I took my fork and just slammed it down across the egg, gently, and it started to form a crack line, and I could do it several times if I need to get a nice clean line and then break my egg open without making a mess. So that's something I'm going to be doing from now on when I crack the egg open, versus trying to slam the egg on some kind of sharp object and having basically egg guts spread out everywhere. So you can crack open the egg using a fork, and that should make it easier. Just wanted to show you the time. It is now 8:15. So we started at the experiment pretty much at 8 o'clock. Well, really, we started cooking at 8:03. So it's been 12 minutes right now of cooking. As you can see, I put in, I have the eggs here, and I put in the magical badia seasoning and my chopped onions. So all that remains is to actually scramble the eggs with my fork here. We're probably at about 13 minutes into cooking right now. And as you can see, the rice is actually almost done. It takes about 15 minutes or so to cook the rice for a small one-person serving. And that's actually about how long it takes to cook in a sticks and bricks. Because I used to use this rice cooker to cook food when I was still living with my girlfriend. So It takes about the same amount of time, which is about 15 minutes or so. I'm looking at it, it's probably going to pop here and say it's done cooking here in a moment. Just wanted to show a quick tip here that instead of watching the rice cooker itself to see when it's done, I can actually look at the inverter here and see, like right now it's still drawing 300 watts, well 306 because of all the extension and everything, but it's drawing 306 watts, which means it's still in cook mode. And when it drops back down to like 24, 34 or whatever, that'll let me know that the rice cooker is actually done. Now what I can do also while this is all going on is I can charge my phone here. This is actually the dash cam phone obviously in front of me, because the other one I'm using right now, I'm recording on the regular phone here, but I'm gonna go ahead and plug this guy in and let him charge up. Since, you know, we're generating electricity, we might as well use it. As you can see, my dash cam phone is now charging as well. And this is something that you can always keep in mind, is like when you're generating electricity anyways, you might as well charge things up. And truthfully, this unit right here, the USB, it stays on. So as long as I have juice in the house battery here, or I have the system connected to the van battery, there's always enough power here to charge up a USB device. But I want to warn you, if you have it hooked up, like right here to the house battery, and you have it isolated, and you're running the fan all night, the house battery will drain. And as it drains, the USB will actually reverse charge. It'll take the charge from your phone or your other device and run it through and try to feed it to the house battery, and also try to run the fan, which means if your house battery, your leisure battery here, doesn't have enough juice to make it through the night, and you hook up a device to charge it up, that device can be drained just as much as the house battery is drained. So just a warning. So at night, what I do when I'm running it off this power pack, oh, I see the I'll stop right now, but you can see here it dropped down to 47, so that tells me the rice cooker is now done. Our rice is done, and it is 8:21. So it took, what, about 17-18 minutes for the rice to cook. Excuse me here. It took 17 or 18 minutes for the rice to cook, and now we're going to go ahead and put in our, we're going to take the rice out. See here, show you the rice is indeed cooked now. And we're going to take our rice out, and we're going to put in our eggs. Try to get my mitts on here with one hand here. This is very hot, so be very careful. Alright, so I got the rice cooker, and I'm just going to set it down here for now and let it cool down a little bit. Meanwhile, I'm going to take our other cooker here, this one that we have up here. I'm going to bring it down here, add a little bit of oil. Hang on a moment here. Looks like I'm going to need some more olive oil soon, but I'll wait till I'm actually out to get some more. Alright, so we put down our olive oil, and we're going to coat it, you know, the rice cooker pot there, sliding it around. I'll slush it around here and try to get it to coat the whole thing. We're going to put our eggs in it here in a minute, and I don't want the eggs to stick. Alright, so the rice cooker is now coated, and we're going to pour in our eggs. Alright, we've poured in our egg now, and then we're going to set it on high. Well, actually, it won't go on high until I put the lid on it. When it's too light, when the rice cooker unit is too light, like there's not enough stuff in it, it won't go on high. But now I have it with the lid on it, so I'm going to put it on high mode. You can see it's now on cook. So our egg is cooking now. And while the egg is cooking, I'm going to take advantage of that time to actually do my dishes here and rinse this thing off. Clean it out a little bit. So I basically come over here, and then I just put some of this water in it, maybe a little bit of tiny amount of Dawn, slush it up, clean it up, rinse it off, and then this is done and ready to go. So basically I'm doing you know, I'm cleaning and stuff while I'm cooking, and that saves time. And when everything's done cooking and stuff, there's not much to clean up because I've been cleaning up as I go along. If you decide to do something like this, I just wanted to give you a heads up. Notice the rice cooker is on high right now, on cook mode, so it's pulling at least 300 watts. It's showing 308 right now, and that means it's still on cook mode. Now, for the rice itself, we were able to watch this thing and see when the rice finished cooking because the power voltage dropped. You do not want to do that with the eggs and other light things that you cook because it may never go up. It may never pop off. So what you want to do when you're cooking stuff like the eggs, you actually want to keep an eye on it. So I'm looking here and it's almost done. You can see the egg is pretty much nearly done. So matter of fact, I'm going to take a spatula or whatever that thing is called and flip my egg here. My water here, but I'm going to take this thing, this guy here, this little guy, and flip my egg over so that it'll cook more evenly on both sides because it's like, let me go wash that thing here. Hang on a moment. Alright, as you can see, I've already gone ahead and flipped it over. It was just easier to flip it with two hands. And now, when we opened up the lid, the cooker went back to warm mode. So I'm going to put it back in cook mode here. You see it's back in cook mode. And just let it cook for another minute or so, and then the rice should be done. I mean, not the rice, but the egg should be done. So at this point, the food is pretty much done. So let's take a look and see how long this is taking here. Okay, it is 8:28. We started the whole experiment at about 8 o'clock and started cooking, actually cooking the rice at 8:03, 8:04. So you can see that we've been running the unit for about 30 minutes right now. It's 8:29 now. So we've run the unit for about 30 minutes is what it took to cook rice and eggs for breakfast. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and start to shut the system down. I'm going to get my rice ready. And let's say it takes, I may let it run till 8:30 and say, you know, well, it took 30 minutes to cook eggs and rice for breakfast. That's how long it took to make breakfast. And then we'll stop the unit and go get gas and see how much we used up. Alrighty, it is 8:30 and I am actually going to shut the whole system down and call it done. Call a little experiment done here. Here's our switch that connects the whole unit. It connects our house battery, which is connected to the inverter, with the vehicle battery, which is connected to the alternator. So I'm going to go ahead and flip that down to shut it off, and you can hear my inverter saying, hey, there's not enough power, it's not enough juice. That's because we have drained the battery from the jump start pack here. Let me show you here. This thing, see, it says low, which is low battery, so I'm going to shut it off now. Okay, LOB on this thing means low battery. And the reason the battery is low is because we drained it. Our battery is this little tiny one in the jump start pack. I suspect that if I get a full-size AGM battery with a decent number of amp hours on it, we won't have the situation. But we have this because this was an emergency measure where I used the jump start battery as my house battery. And that unit has a tiny little battery in it. It doesn't hold much juice at all. So it doesn't even run this thing too much. So at this point right now, the vehicle is disconnected, the batteries are disconnected, and the inverter's off, so everything's done and it's just starting to cool down. So we're going to go get our food and have breakfast. And then after that, we'll go ahead and go back to the gas pump right there and fill up on gas and see exactly how much we used up to cook this little meal of white rice here and scrambled eggs. Doesn't that look good? Bon appetit, everybody. I'll come back in a moment after I eat and show you the results. Alrighty, so here, ladies and gentlemen, is the result of our efforts here. I actually have a little bit of rice still left in the pot, so I can use it if I need more rice. But this is the result of all our cooking. It took about 30 minutes or so. Yeah, roughly 30 minutes to make this breakfast, cooking it with the inverter. And about 15 to 18 minutes was used on the rice. The rest was on the eggs. And we're at the Murphy gas station here. But anyhow, after I finish eating, we'll go ahead and clean up and then go fill up with gas again and see how much gas was actually used. Bon appetit, everybody, and I'll report in shortly. Alright, welcome back to our experiment. I am about to pull around, and as soon as the guy moves out of the way there, I'm going to pull around and try to get gas at the exact same gas pump to get rid of any variables or anything like that. Hopefully that guy leaves and I'm just going to sit there for an hour. But anyhow, I'm going to pull around and wait for him to leave to try to get gas at that spot. That way we're getting it off the exact same pump and throw out any variations there. Although if he sits there forever, it's going to make me waste gas. Oh, I think the dude wants to sit here forever. He hasn't left yet, so I'm kind of waiting for him to move. And meanwhile, I'm wasting gas here. Dude's not moving. I'm going to go ahead and cut the car off because this guy's just sitting there. Wow. See the dude that I'm waiting on right there? He's the guy at my the pump that I pumped from this morning, and I'm trying to get to the exact same pump that the guy is sitting there, so I'm going to go ahead and cut off for now. Alright, the dude finally left, so we're going to go in here and we're going to get our gas right here. The same pump. We wasted a little bit of gas waiting for that guy to leave. Alright, my camera crashed, so unfortunately we might have lost a segment of me coming up here and stuff, but as you can see, I have filled up the gas, and we basically used up 0.775 gallons. I'm going to guess more like 0.7 or maybe even 0.6 gallons to cook, because we wasted some idling waiting for that guy to leave and just idling in general. So a real guess would be about 0.6 gallons, 0.7 gallons. And that will help us compute how much it actually costs to cook a meal or to run the inverter system for 30 minutes. Woohoo! I just left McDonald's with a huge glass here, or a huge cup of racetrack ice. Haha. Thank you, McDonald's. That was very kind of you. You're a lifesaver. Anyhow, doing the math on our inverter cooking system, it looks like we use approximately $1.50 worth of gas to run the inverter for 30 minutes if we're sitting at idle. That's if the gas is about $2, $2.05. $2.03, I think is what it was over there. Maybe $2.05, I don't know. But roughly, right now, at about $2 in gas per $2 per gallon, I use 0.75 or 0.77. I'm guessing 0.75 because I had a little bit of waste waiting for the people and starting and stopping and whatnot. So it's about 0.75 gallons to run the inverter for 30 minutes. I don't think that has anything to do with running the inverter. I think it has to do with idling. So I go through approximately 0.75 gallons of gas for every 30 minutes of idle. So if I idle for an hour, that's 1.5 gallons of gas. And you can use that to roughly compute how much it actually costs to run the inverter if you're just sitting there idling. Now, most actual cooking sequences that I do, if I'm driving around and stuff, and I know I'm going to be driving around for more than 10-15 minutes, and I'm hungry, I will cook while I'm driving. So in those instances, the gas expenditure for cooking is actually free. I mean, it's because you're already driving anyways and you're generating electricity. So cooking with an inverter while you're driving, you're getting free energy. But if you have to park somewhere and you're just idling and cooking, expect it to cost, at least in my minivan here, my 2003 Dodge Grand Caravan, it'll cost me at current gas prices of about $2, $2.05 a gallon. It'll cost me $1.50 for every 30 minutes of cooking. And that is the most accurate reading that I have right now, because we just did the experiment and those are real numbers. So until next time, everybody, have a great day.